Hi, my name is Ujjwal, and today I want to talk to you about a feeling. A feeling which is very relatable for designers and creative professionals, and that feeling is called imposter syndrome. Now, by definition, imposter syndrome is a psychological pattern where a person doubts their accomplishments and fear that they will be exposed as a fraud. In this video, I will dive deeper into this topic and understand some practical ways on how to manage imposter syndrome. Now, what are some of the signs that can help you identify if you have imposter syndrome as a designer? I think the first and foremost would be self doubt. You would have a lot of doubt in the things that you're doing. You would not be able to make clear decisions on your projects, and you would always be asking somebody else to make those decisions for you. Second, I think you would be afraid of seeking feedback. You would not be sure of reviewing your design work or your projects. That could be attributed to imposter syndrome. And thirdly, and I think this one is the most significant one, is that you would attribute your success to luck or some other external factor. You would not attribute that success to your hard work and your skill. So these are some of the signs that helps you identify that you actually have imposter syndrome. Now, why do designers or any other creative professional feel imposter syndrome? Why is it so common among this group of people? So there are multiple reasons for it, and I'm stating those reasons because this will help us identify how we can work towards them. All right. So first thing is self-awareness. And self-awareness, as good as it is, it can sometimes be harmful. Because what we may end up doing is we may start looking at our weaknesses way more than we are looking at our strengths. And that can be detrimental. Another reason I feel why designers or any creative professional have imposter syndrome is because there is no clear definition of success. Now, if you were in any other field, the success matrices are easily defined or clearly defined. For designers, because we work in such complex projects where there are so many stakeholders involved, it may sometimes be unclear on what our contribution to that success is. There could also be a case that we are comparing ourselves all the time with so many other great designers in the world. And especially in this age of Instagram, Behance, Dribble, there's such great work out there, and we are constantly compare our work with their work. And we need to understand that that is the best that they have done. And what we are comparing at this point of time is probably not our best work. And the other part to this is that, of course, they will be good at something and they'll be bad at something. A lot of designers have this feeling with them. And we're just not aware about it. We just think that we are the only one feeling this. The last reason, and I feel this one very close to my heart, is that any creative who is expressing themselves in their work, it could be a musician, it could be a singer, it could be any kind of artist, and designers too are artists when they're creating something. That creativity comes from a vulnerable place. It's that vulnerability inside us that gives us the strength to create something beautiful. And when we show our vulnerable side to the outside world, it can waver to the dark side as well. And I feel that there, somewhere there, we can latch on to imposter syndrome as well. Now, I've talked about the problem, I've talked about why it exists. Let's now go on to what can we do to manage it. First and foremost, embrace imposter syndrome for what it is. It is a feeling. It is not the person that you are. And the fact that a term like imposter syndrome exists in the world, it means that there are good people who think that they're not good. That's it. So just know and understand the magnitude of it. It's not that big. It's a feeling, and it can come and it can go. It's up to you how you manage it. Second thing, write down your small victories somewhere. Now, this may seem like a new habit to form, but it's really simple. You need to remember the good things you have done in the recent past. Those will be your anchor points that you'll go back to. If you're not a writer, like I don't use the pen to write things, I use my notes app. Make a list. Make a list that you can just look back at whenever you're feeling low and whenever you're feeling low in confidence, because this a feeling like imposter syndrome especially kicks in when you're low on confidence. It's actually a reflection of some of our insecurities that we've felt as a child. So definitely things that can remind us that we're good at something, will help us manage this syndrome better. Thirdly, know how to measure success accurately as a designer. So you need to know what metrics you've been chasing when you were working on that project. And after that project has been delivered, go and ask your product analytics team or PMs that were we able to get that rate up or not. So that will always help you have more confidence in the work that you've done, because if it has actually moved a metric, that's good enough and that's good work that you've done. Another thing that will help you fight imposter syndrome is that you should always know your strength. If I ask you today what your strengths are, you should have a list of things to talk about. And know that these are the strengths that you're actually hired for, or you will be hired for. It's not for your weaknesses. And you are paid a salary for these strengths. So know that you have those strengths always with you. You have the skill set. That's why you're where you are. And the last thing, find a good mentor and talk to them about this feeling. It does not need to be your manager. You're probably even scared to talk about imposter syndrome with your manager or even your peers. So find a mentor outside of that network. Or if you feel comfortable enough with your manager, then talk to them about your imposter syndrome. And once you do, you will start to feel that it's pretty normal to feel that way. And in fact, they probably already feel that way about themselves as well. So we normalize a feeling that we have kept inside us for so long. I hope this video helps and I hope you got something out of it. If you like this video, subscribe to this channel if you haven't, and share this with your friends who you think may have imposter syndrome, or just save it for later maybe and watch it again whenever you feel low or whenever you feel like an imposter. Thank you and have a nice day.